I want you to think of your workplace or a place that you have been or that you have worked at before. There are more than likely both men and women working with you. Since everyone cannot always agree with everyone else, there is also conflict. I'm sure you have noticed that men and women handle conflict and how to resolve it very differently. Today I'm going to discuss how gender roles and stereotypes affect conflict, gender differences in conflict and conflict resolution, and conflict resolution skills. First, I will start by explaining how gender roles and stereotypes affect conflict. According to Jessica Sonardo from Coastal Carolina University, men expect women to think, communicate, and respond the way men do, and women expect men to feel, communicate, and respond the way women do. The result is our relationships being filled with unnecessary friction and conflict. Men and women are very different biologically and socially. Some of those differences are from how we are raised. We are born into a gendered society that guides our understanding of gender and shapes our personal gendered identities. We learn how we are supposed to act by observing others. Males grow up learning that in order to be masculine, they must be successful, be aggressive, be sexual, be self-reliant, and embody traditional societal views of masculinity. Females, on the other hand, learn that appearance is important. Showing sensitivity and care is a must, and negative treatment of others is to be expected, and superwoman abilities are anticipated. Because of how we are raised, the communication from men and women is very different. The most important aspects of female communication revolve around the establishment and maintenance of relationships with others. Other communication styles for women are establishing equality, supporting others, promoting participation, responsiveness, and being personal and disclosing information, and tentativeness. Men tend to use communication to develop a higher status among peers by accomplishing objectives, communicating on demand, being direct and assertive, and having no emotional responses. Other masculine communication styles are accomplishing concrete goals, exertion of control, perseverance of independence, and entertaining and enhancing status. Of course, when we are raised and taught in very different manner, there is a good chance of having conflict. Now I'm going to tell you about conflict differences in conflict and conflict resolution. Everyone responds to conflict differently, and each time a conflict arises, you could respond differently. There are three ways someone can respond to a conflict. One is having an emotional response, which is a response based on how you are feeling. We have cognitive responses, which are our ideas and thoughts about a conflict. Then there are physical responses, which could include heightened stress, bodily tension, increased perspiration, and shallow or accelerated breathing. Women tend to have emotional responses and respond better to more emotional content, and men tend to have physical responses, and both can be threatening to the opposite sex. When women engage in conflict, they are often perceived negatively for being disagreeable, and men are promoted when they are behaving the same way. Because of this, women often avoid conflict in the workplace by taking a back seat. I don't need to express my opinion with such a strong group. By not rocking the boat, I don't want to be a troublemaker. By suffering silently, that was inappropriate, but I will remain quiet about it. And by keeping the peace. My need to have everyone get along is more important than addressing the issue. While women tend to avoid issues that may make them appear disagreeable to resolve conflict, men often reflect a more competitive interaction style to resolve conflict, where competition is the name of the game. I do whatever it takes, or by stepping up to the plate. I take whatever they throw at me. With the attitude, not everyone has to be my friend. It's okay if people get irritated with me. I'm not here for a popularity contest. And by staying focused on the goal. I always have my eye on the end result. How I get there is not important. Knowing and understanding the differences between men and women in conflict will greatly help being able to resolve conflict. Next, I'm going to talk to you about conflict resolution skills. Conflict is a normal part of life. When it is handled in a positive and respectful manner, it provides an opportunity for growth and strengthens relationships. When conflict arises, create an environment where it is okay to express a different opinion without having the expectation of a bad outcome. Resolving conflict successfully is dependent upon your ability to do the following. Manage your stress level and remain alert and calm. By staying calm, you will be able to avoid making the situation worse. Control your emotions and behaviors. You will be able to express your needs and listen to the needs of others if you are not letting emotions like anger get in the way. Pay attention to the feelings being expressed by others as well as what they are saying. Be aware and respectful of differences. Having differences among people is the cause of conflict. It is possible to agree to disagree. Be aware of the things that you are not saying. Nonverbal communication is very important because it is usually the first thing people notice. If what you are saying and what you are expressing in your body language is different, others may not trust what you are saying. By doing these things, you can effectively read and understand verbal and nonverbal communication, and you can communicate your needs without sounding threatening. Also, when confronting a conflict, have the belief that a resolution can support the needs of everyone involved. Now that you have heard about conflict and conflict resolution, keep in mind, it is nearly impossible to avoid conflict when working closely with other people toward a common goal. You can help manage conflict in your workplace by knowing how gender roles and stereotypes affect conflict, gender differences in conflict and conflict resolution, and conflict resolution skills. Thank you.